Roadman Saf.
Yo, it's the Dragon.
It's your girl, Heather.
It's your boy Jason Barksdale, formerly known as JRE.
Hey, I'm Ezra Jordan, and you're listening to The Cool Table.
And you are listening to The Cool Table live.
What's up? It's me, Alfie. You're listening to The Cool Table with Adriel Smiley.
Now in the cut with Adriel Smiley. You know what I mean?
Live in the cut with Adriel Smiley. You know what it do.
You're in the cut with my boy Adriel Smiley. You heard me?
And I'm not sure if you know this, but right now, you're in the cut with my man, Adriel Smiley.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Welcome to The Cool Table. We're in the cut with the boy Harrison, fresh off the album release last night.
Hey, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty crispy. You made like a little dent into your ice cream.
I know, man. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to... I'm going to go for it, though. But I just... That's a lot.
I think personally that's probably the my favorite flavor someone's chosen. I've liked some of the other flavors, but strawberry is like...
That's the thing. Strawberry,
so fire.
The best. And then close up is second is banana.
Ooh.
Banana's really good. Because y'all ever have the like banana medicine?
Oh yeah, the banana medicine always be fire, and then after you're done it, you're like, yo, I hope I get sick again.
Yeah. Like every time I had some of that, I'm like, yo, like I want to find that bottle.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
suck it, man. Why would they make it so good? Why would they do that?
And why was it only that one medicine? Like I didn't get it. Yeah,
they went in with that. Bro.
Oh man, so I think you have a good chance of getting this like almost done before the interview's over.
I'm fucked.
But you're making good time. You said that Checkpoint Titanium was more of a compilation.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, how do you like separate those two in your head?
Well, I mean, the idea of like making a cohesive album was not my like main focus for that album. It was just like a showcase of what I've been doing to that time.
Okay.
Because it was
yeah, like, you said you were just like making all the good stuff you wanted to, and then just choosing your favorites.
Yeah, exactly, man. Because it was like there was like a neo soul song on there, and like like a house track and an EDM track, but it was just what I felt like making at that time.
Okay.
But I was still new to making music at that time. With Checkpoint Titanium, man, when I got signed, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I was sampling before that, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, you can't sample anymore because we're
can't pay for it."
Yeah, exactly. We're not like paying for that, man. It's like really expensive. I tried to clear 3 samples on
the new one.
On the new one, I didn't hear back. And I didn't even hear back. That's the thing. It's like
wow.
A money thing that I didn't even hear back. And I'm like, okay, well.
But I like that's why I like that you can do it without sampling, because I like when I hear your stuff, I always like kind of put samples in my head, like what could have been there, what would have been there, and it's like if you had all those samples and could have done that, we know how amazing the music would have been. So
well, thanks, man.
No, but that's like it's already fire without that. So it's like well, hopefully one day you get that freedom and that cash, you can just
I don't know what I'd do if I had that freedom. That's the thing. I feel like I should start making these sampled songs beforehand, and if I ever get the freedom, I'd be like, here is every song with every sample, please.
No, I like that. I like that. Go to Kanye. That's what Kanye said he does. He's like, yeah, he doesn't even care about it. He just makes the song.
Yeah,
they clear it. They clear it. They do. If they don't, they don't. And sometimes he doesn't clear it.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of the time he didn't clear them. I don't even know if he cleared the Michael Jackson sample on Good Life.
Yeah, I don't know how I don't know how he gets away with that, because he's not like low key. You know what I mean? So
I think
I'm like, how do you get away with that?
Hopefully, like you just if you do that type of thing, hopefully you just give them like publishing.
Yeah, that has to be what it is.
90% of this. Like, here you go. Like I honestly wouldn't give if I wasn't on a label, I just would put it out. All the sampled songs, and if anyone came to me about it, I'd be like, "You can have 100% of the song. I don't care. Like, here's your $20." I mean, like,
I feel you.
It doesn't to me. It doesn't matter, and sampling in itself is an art, right? So, it's like there's a lot of some people are flattered. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Other artists are like really flattered.
I feel like it's so iffy, because if the artist doesn't like the song that you make, you're just like, like, what did I do wrong here? But it's like, to me, I assume they all would be flattered.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case.
I'd rather sample a song than directly steal it.
Yeah. At least.
And like bluntly like steal like the melody.
Yeah.
Which is like a lot of people do that.
Whack.
Yeah.
You worked on Sean's album. Now, Sean's album, like, you know, from being a fan of his, that was like a complete like different sound that I'd heard from him.
Yeah.
But we all know Sean is like so talented that, you know, he's versatile, can go
Yeah.
with anything. How did you guys like come together? Did he come to you and say, you know, I like the sound you're doing, I want that over here, or were you like, you know, here, you need some of this for your
It all
next?
started with 90 BPM via Twitter. It was through Twitter, man. We've been following each other because I think Daniel Caesar put me on to Sean.
Okay.
Like, not directly. What the I got hair in my I got long hairs in my facial. Yeah, and I was like, oh, this is like really dope. I think I found it through SoundCloud as well. But we just talked on Twitter.
Okay.
Just like back and forth. And man, Sean and I didn't get in the studio once for any of those 6 songs.
What?
Yeah, it was all back and forth.
But isn't I like
Like we
that-
hang out, but like we'd never actually be in the studio.
But I was my next question. Like, isn't that more what you like to do? Is to like be in the studio with people and work with them, or have you just like gone away from that now? Like,
Well,
not
at first I
anymore?
used to hate studios because they're
Yeah.
dark. I get tired really easily, and I'm like, I find myself. I smoke a lot of cigarettes, man, and I find myself smoking 10 times more because a lot of the time I don't want to be in them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But now I look at them like going to the gym, because when you go to the gym, it's like you don't go to the gym and like not work out.
Yeah.
Unless you're like just scumming around.
Yeah,
It's
unless you're
like-
if you show up, then you got to work.
Yeah,
out.
exactly. You show up. You go to the reason I go to the gym, not work out at home, is because I go to the gym. It's like I have to work out. You know what I mean? So it's like with the studio, that's how I kind of look at it now. It's like going
like
to
a
a
workspace.
workspace. Yeah, exactly. Oh, jinx.
Damn.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I like them now, and I was just in LA and stuff. Sean was actually out in LA. We hung out there and talked about music and.
But you guys didn't get in the studio for any of those.
No, not
That's
one
crazy.
song.
That's crazy.
But it all started with 90 BPM, and he didn't let me finish the instrumental. He looped like a 12-second loop.
Why?
Yeah. And thank God he did, because I lost the project.
But 90 BPM is still fire regardless.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Regardless.
I like that song a lot. I'm a big fan.
Oh man, that's like, I'm really happy with that project, and I'm happy that like you kind of brought that sound to him, because
Yeah, man. I mean, it was really nice of him to give me that chance, because I actually was in many ways more worried about that project than my own project, Apricity, because I was worried about his fan base.
yeah, anticipation, yeah,
You know what I mean? Being upset that he's like
doing something different.
doing something that's not like hard hitting like trap
Yeah.
beats. And I was actually like freaky. I was like low key worried as hell.
Actually, you know what? I feel you, because like as a fan, I thought that it would be more of the hard hitting trap beats.
Yeah,
I heard 90 BPM, and I was like, okay, perfect, we're gonna get a new flavor. But I didn't expect it to be like so much of that. I thought it'd be more of a mix. But
Yeah.
so I understand what you mean, like being worried about
Yeah, man.
that
Yeah,
happening.
man. So
I've done some random stuff though, you know.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think the versatility is like, you know, the fans can understand that. But it's like-
Exactly. I mean, like if they were, it seemed, because I checked like the Twitter, man. I was like Sean Leon looking at the latest. I was checking to see, and it was like, oh, people are being very receptive to it. And I was like, this slaps, man. I'm happy that
good music is good music.
Yeah,
like,
man.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like King and Suffering, and like I don't know, his next. I've heard some of his. Oh my god, his next. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh
Yeah. I'm trying to. I just want to do like an EP that's just me and him.
have you guys talked about that? That's something like
Yeah,
you
man.
know,
Well, he has a bunch of beats in mind, but I think those are for other things. But I want to do. I was like, yo, we should like make like a SoundCloud and just put it up on there. And
Yeah.
stuff like samples I couldn't clear, something like that. He's like, SoundCloud's dead. I'm like, you're right, it is dead. I'm like, it was a good point. But I mean, like,
man.
more experimental because that stuff's really fun to me.
No, that seems like that's like what you're super talented at. Like, not that you're not talented at other things, but experimental is where you can just like go crazy and
Yeah, man.
take it
And,
anywhere.
like, you know, a lot of rap is basically like pop, right? At this point.
Big facts.
You know what I mean? Like popular music.
Yeah,
Not like
not pop like
not pop,
Taylor
pop,
Swift,
but
or
I
nothing,
mean,
but like
like,
popular music.
it's
Yeah.
popular music, right? So it's like being able to just him being open to the idea of like doing like a neo soul song. I'm like, okay, that's dope. Let's keep on working on that.
Not everyone's gonna agree to that.
No, not at all. So yeah, I was like, this thanks, man. And yeah, and then the album just came out.
Awesome. Now you talked about imposter syndrome. Now I'm gonna give the Wikipedia definition of it, and then I want to hear like how you personally define it. Now Wikipedia says, it's a psychological pattern in which the individual doubts their accomplishments and has a persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud. Now talk about like, does that definition kind of sound accurate to you, or how would you kind of define it?
Can you read the first part again?
A psychological pattern in which an individual doubts their accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud.
I don't have a fear of being exposed as a fraud because it's like. It's like, it's
how?
not like I don't have a ghost producer. It's like, but the dousing accomplishment, it's extremely accurate because it's like I don't look back at the things I did that were like dope. You know what I mean? I'm mostly too present to be like, I shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
And the idea of, I mean, like modern day imposter syndrome, I feel is very much fueled by social media.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
Like, I don't want to be that guy who's like, social media is bad.
No, be that guy, please. I'm with you 100%.
But I don't believe it's bad. But like my personal addictions to it, like always having to be somewhere and always having to do something, and like I look at people, I'm like, how do you do that much shit in a day, bro? Like it's hard for me to like, I get up every morning, I walk my dog, I get coffee, I like practice piano, I'll walk again, and then I start making music. And I don't make music every day, man. Some days I can't do it, but I see that I'm like, someone's like, at the Met Gala. Like I just came from a 9-hour studio session.
I wonder what someone's like brain is like. It's like, is your brain this always on? Because when you're like always on, you become like mentally tired, and everyone knows that like mentally tired feeling. So when I like people like you're saying, I wonder, it's like, are you just eternally mentally tired, or like
are you just like superhuman? Because like I think that was a big part of it too. Is like, man, like I don't want to make music every day. I don't like that's not how I work, and I see people doing that. They're like, oh, just slapped out like 90 bangers. I'm like, yo, man. I'm like, what? What? Like it takes me a long time. And so and also like the idea of not. I mean, like luck is something that I brought up a lot. I talk about it a lot. Like the luck I got. The luck I got to have like I had like like a good support system, and like literal support from like my parents who like were like, when I dropped out of like school, they weren't like beefing with me or anything. The support of like my label, and like just things that like I think about things that if they didn't happen, what would happen. Like I always think back to this Cashmere Cat show I opened up for. James Trousey was at, who was the A&R for Last Game and like project manager, and then he wanted to sign me after seeing that show because he liked the show. And it was just, I was playing completely different music at the time. I was playing like future bass and like Jersey Club, and then I don't know, years going by, then E1 buying Last Game and these resources being available. It's just like it. I don't want to get too
there's so many dots to connect.
And I'm like how did that happen to me? So that's something I recently brought up, was like, when will that string of luck run out? And this is like, maybe it's straying from imposter syndrome, but it's like not being able to be focused on the present. And like, so I guess imposter syndrome, as in I'm just worried it's all gonna like fail, or something like that.
What's crazy is that I never like knew what it was until like learning more about you. Like I'd heard that before,
Yeah.
but like in like learning more about you, that's when I like kind of dove into it more.
Mm-hmm.
And the social media thing you said, I think, is a huge thing that makes a lot of sense, because social media is designed for you to be like the most in the present as you can be.
Mm-hmm.
Like the phrase that we used to make jokes like in elementary school and say, "Oh, that's so last week." Like,
Yeah,
you're still tying both your shoes. Like
Exactly.
that's so last week. It's
Exactly.
like that social media is literally that phrase, like
Yeah.
personified to say something is so last week, when it's like 7 days ago isn't so long that we can like forget the music that came out or the video that we saw. And it's like social media is kind of developed for you to forget those things.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's like I was like, yo, I work on this album for 6 months. It's consumed in 30 minutes, and then it's on the next thing, man. The sheer amount of music that's being released right now,
Yo, it is insane.
it's insane. It's hard to keep up, man. And like any idea you think you have that's original, it's like someone did that shit.
Yeah.
And someone did that shit better than you. So it's like
yo, it is,
man.
It's hard to wrap your mind around that, because you might think you have these amazing ideas, and then it's like the more you flesh out the idea, you're like, if someone did this, if someone did it this way, it's just like.
And I constantly think about deleting it, or at least having someone run it for me. But I don't know. Sometimes I like tweeting. Twitter's funny sometimes, but it's also a nightmare sometimes.
It's hard to find that in between. But it's hard. And the crazy thing is, like, like personally, I think you're saying luck's gonna run out. I don't think that at all. I think like you're headed like higher and higher and higher.
Man,
but
I just gotta chill. I gotta chill, man. My therapist is like, yo, you're fucking dumb, bro. He's just like, you're fucking. He's like, he's basically like, do you hear yourself, man? I mean, you like.
How do you mean? Like, you mean like, do you hear
I
yourself?
mean, when I talk about that, like the other day. We did this
he's
thing.
saying like, nah, like you're like, you need to just give yourself more credit, kind of thing.
It's basically, he's like, we're talking about being present where I'm not, and like we did this thing the other day where he's like, my middle name's Anthony, and I had. Actually, I won't talk about that. But my middle name is Anthony, and he's like, all right, so you're going to pretend to be this Anthony guy who's, like, not stressed, all right? Okay. He's like, you just pretend that he's like, and now, so he's like, pretend you didn't get into the music industry, and, like, I like working on cars. He's like, pretend you're a mechanic.
Yeah, I saw you do those 2 cars.
Yeah, and he's like, pretend you're a mechanic, but still liked music. I was like, yeah, sure. And we had like a talk, and I was pretending to be this person, Anthony, essentially, and talking about Harrison. And like we just kind of came to this conclusion: is like you're like forcing yourself to like not enjoy, like you have this like happiness in your life, but you're like telling yourself not to. Or Harrison's telling himself not to. It was really, but I'm sorry for like segueing, stumbling all over the place.
No. That's fine. That's fine.
But yeah, the idea of like not being able to accept that good things are going on is like very tilting.
No, it's like I resonate with that a lot. So it's it's like hearing you talk about it. It feels like something that is almost like never gonna end.
Yeah.
Although that shouldn't be what it feels like. But it's like I'll do something sick and I won't care.
Exactly.
And like what I was gonna say before is that kind of medium between like always being on social media and not. It seems like only the biggest artists have that.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, are they just secretly on and we don't see them?
Yeah.
It's like J. Cole follows 3 people, but is he just like, flicking through, like making sure he doesn't like anything and everybody else? And it's like, because we're all human at the end of the day, so it's like I can't really think that anyone's exempt from this feeling. And it's like, we can have this feeling accomplishing what we've accomplished on this scale, but people who accomplish something on a bigger scale, that feeling has to be there to some degree.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. And like, yeah, sometimes I'm like, maybe it's not for me, but I like music too much.
Yeah,
to like be like.
No, music is like one of the most fun. It's like when ball players say they don't want to play ball, and I'm like, playing basketball is so fun. Music is so fun.
Yeah,
it's like
man.
To get paid to do something that's so fun. There's like millions of things that are not fun.
Yeah, exactly.
At all.
Exactly.
At all. It's like accounting. What's fun about accounting? You can't even reach and find the one thing about accounting that's fun. Music, there's like 10 different things that are like so exciting about music.
That was right off the bat. So it's man. It's like, and that too. It's like like what's bad about doing what you like to do? You know what I mean? It's like this
Nothing wrong with enjoying
exactly. So that's what I mean, and that I guess that's another point about imposter syndrome. And I don't know. Imposter syndrome seems like such a like strong word. 'Cause
Yeah,
I don't feel like I have a
those two words
syndrome.
together just makes me
It's
queasy.
Like,
Like,
it's like, I mean, this feeling of not feeling like deserving, right? That's another thing about it, is like feeling the guilt that I could be doing something else that sucks. Like, working at like McDonald's or something. I don't know. Some people like working at McDonald's. I'm not hating on that.
I get what you're saying.
But that idea, it's like I could be doing something that sucks. So every time I feel guilt, I just get like pissed off at myself. Or every time I feel like I'm like, oh fuck, I don't want to like do this mix. Or
it could be different.
Yeah, and it's a good reminder. You know what I mean? It's like, kind of like man up shit.
Let's get to the music on a positive note. Now, you said "Better" is like the best song you ever made. Do you still feel that way, or is that something that's like an ongoing like change?
I said that.
You did.
Man, I gotta slow down with that.
Well, that's why I'm asking you, because it's like I'm assuming like that's something that you can obviously feel in the moment. It's like asking what's your favorite Kanye
It's
song.
one of my favorite songs I've ever made.
Okay,
for sure.
But best, you're not gonna go that far.
I mean, like, I don't know what the best song I ever made is, because like I don't know what I personally think is like the best song I've ever made. But definitely, I'm sorry guys, I can't finish this ice cream. It's hitting the stomach so hard, man. Yeah, I don't know, but I really like "Better," man. I really with that song like heavy.
Yeah.
But I don't know the best song I've ever made. But yeah, that's always changing, because it could be like to date. You know what I mean?
That's still your favorite song off the album, like still today?
Yeah, I'd say so, man.
I'd say so. Okay.
I hate anyone else, but I mean, like, just because I really like the instrumental a lot.
Yeah.
And I like Danielle's singing as well. But I mean, in terms of like for myself, what was like when producing, it's like, what's the instrumental sound like?
Yeah.
And that was my favorite one to make.
That and Atmosphere, like I think you like when like she sings on stuff that you do, like it sounds like it was like made for that. Like it's not like you guys are like a secret duo.
Yeah, man. I
like,
work with her a lot too.
And I like that chemistry is like, it's not like, sometimes you see artists work together and it's like, okay, they're friends. And, like the chemistry you guys have working together is like something that for sure should be happening like all the time.
I honestly, like, Danielle's like a super good friend too. And like we only started working like a year ago, but I don't know, she's just like, sometimes I don't like working. There's people that like suck to work with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's people that like aren't fun to work with. And like she's someone I like want to make music with and then like hang out with. Like be like
and
a
that's
friend.
That's rare. That's
yeah,
rare.
you know what I mean? And like I don't think I've actually fully, besides Sean and like I mean like others, but I mean I don't know if I fully had like a relationship like that. And
that's incredible.
Yeah, she's cool.
Do you like make like the instrumentals and have her in mind, or is it something where it's like after it's done you're like, let me send this to her and see what she thinks?
Well, we made "Better" in the same room.
Okay.
And Atmosphere was done beforehand.
Okay.
But like some stuff I think I keep in mind. I mean, with like all people, I keep in mind. I'm like, would this be sick for Sean, or would this be just cool as an instrumental? Because like the first song off my album, Sean actually sang on first. I took it back as an instrumental.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you
called Hard Funk? That's what it used to be called, dude.
How do you make that decision? Because that's like if you saw the dance party that was going on in here before you got here, like I was playing the album and these guys were just like going in. But it's like, how do you kind of decide on what songs I put people on, what songs do I like leave everybody off?
It's because it's unfair to give someone a song and then take it back like I did with Sean. I don't want to do that shit again. So like it's when I'm giving away or like sending a project, it's like I have to be sure that if it doesn't work with them, like if they don't like the instrumental, that's cool. But if we can always try and find like a middle ground to see if I'm sorry, that may not be the answer to your question.
No, that like that answers it, because like you saying middle ground makes sense in my head.
Yeah.
Because I hear a lot of like your instrumentals, and I think someone could go on them. It's like because they're all fire, so it's not like it's like this is like too different for someone to go on, but it's they might not have the kind of flow that fits it. There's some people some people will like they'll just go on it, they'll sing, they'll rap, and they'll go on it, and it'll be like good because the person is talented, but it might not actually fit.
Yeah, no, some things just don't fit.
Yeah,
right?
none of fit. Fit's probably the word I'm thinking of.
Well, that's the thing. It's like I like looking for artists that aren't in the same genre. That's usually the most interesting stuff comes from artists who aren't in that genre, in that field, because when they push themselves to make something that they're not used to, like out of their comfort zone, like a lot of the time, I mean, there's times it doesn't work out, but a lot of the time something good comes out of that. Like with Daniela working on these songs, man. Like Atmosphere was the first song we did together, and she doesn't do like house stuff.
Really?
Like
That's the first?
Yeah, it was the first song we like. Well, I mean, the first song she sang on of mine.
Okay.
But when I was producing for her, we just like made like ballads, like better and stuff.
Yeah.
But when people force themselves to come out of their comfort zone to work on stuff like that, there's a different energy and a different type of excitement, because it's like I don't usually do this. Like when I try making like I've been trying to like do classical compositions like just as like practice, and it is this different type of excitement because it's like it's a world I have like nothing to do with.
It's like entering a new world.
Yeah, man. So those are when it comes to collaborations, those are my favorite. Like just people who are like
bringing someone into your world.
Yeah, man. Like I want to do a song with oh my god, her name's Casey Musgraves.
Oh yeah,
she's like a country artist.
No, but her voice is crazy.
Yeah, no, but like her also, like whoever the fuck is producing her, it's like actually good country music, and I will admit that.
You sound rattled.
No, because I was like, my friend Ryan showed me. Do you know the producer Ryan Hemsworth?
Yeah.
He's like, man, and like his homie
Ryan put you on,
Evan Exeter is another producer. They're like. It was like so low key. We're all just drinking. He's like, "Hey man," like said it like so sketchy. He's like, "You heard of a Casey Musgrave?"
Oh my god!
And Ryan's like, "It's so good." And then they started like going in. They started being like, "I can't get over it. Like this is a good country musician." And they showed me. I'm like, I don't get it. But then I listened again. And like right off the bat, I was like, "Yo, this is like really well done."
Yeah,
like country / pop music or whatever.
You put it into the universe now. So now, like next time I see you is gonna happen. You put it into the universe now.
I gotta ask. I gotta be like, how can I reach out to Casey?
Oh, that'd be fire.
Sean just texted me, by the way.
Shout out to Sean.
Shout out to Sean Leon.
Now, a couple things before we go.
Yeah.
We know you're a huge video game guy. Like Kirby, like Zelda, like Sonic.
Yeah.
2 questions. Now, Super Smash Bros. What is your go-to choice in Super Smash Bros?
Well, if it's N64, I play Kirby, but people are always cheesed. Because I know Kirby's
like secretly cheating.
Kirby's loose, bro. Like, let's be honest, man. And but I'd play Marth and like any other one. Yeah, man.
Okay.
Like Melee, or Project Diamond shit.
Not bad. I try if I don't get like Kirby's my go-to as well.
Yeah.
Also because I'm not that good.
I'm shit,
I need Kirby, and even with Kirby, I'll still probably lose.
That was one of those fucking games that I like refused to get into. The like some people are like really fucking good at those, like wave dashing and all that shit. Like shit that I'm like, what is this? That was one of those games I refused.
And the amount of time you got to spend to even
man, like these people. But it's sick seeing like the pros play that game, because you're like, what is going on?
Yo, it's
man?
like it is like a completely different game.
Yeah, man. I'm like, this shit's crazy. Like they're so good. But yeah, man, like Kirby or Marth, because I'm shit.
But you also forgot to mention Crash Bandicoot earlier.
Yeah, I did.
Now. Crash is a classic game. Crash one of the few games I was actually like decent at. One of the few. But I can't believe you didn't mention Crash. I for sure thought that was coming.
Well, man, like yeah. So,
but I guess you were more on the Nintendo systems.
Yeah, man. Crash like and Sega. Well, I mean Sega.
Sega.
You know what I mean? Because we had all those bootlegs because it was so easy to copy games. on Sega. It was like it was like the most busted system ever. So you could just get any game for free. It was like torrenting before torrenting, bro.
Yeah, I can't believe that was actually a thing.
Yeah, man. We had like a massive CD case of games.
Oh, so you guys were serious as hell.
Yeah, man. Like so my friend's dad like knew the guy who like made all these copies.
Oh, word.
Yeah, or a guy rather, and like he gave us, I don't know, like 100 games, man. Like
Whoa.
easy.
Remember?
Ola's mad.
Ola's mad at me?
No, she's not mad. She's just said we have to go. I could see her mouth.
Oh. You gotta go.
Yeah,
Thank you
dude,
so
I'm sorry.
much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
being
having
in
me.
the cut with us.
Appreciate it, bro. It's dope in here, man.
Thank you. Know yourself.
Know yourself, man. I love that.